I get in the spreadsheet that we need a guy who shoots left, a guy who shoots right, a guy who shoots front, and a guy who can turn. And so I have to test all those different versions of the guy.
You put back in some pretty tight spots.
So everything, yeah. And so after, for example, after I make this, the guy who made the spreadsheet comes. In this case, it was the director, Ikeda-san, and we test it, and he says, no, now this guy should shoot 3 bullets instead of 5 bullets, or should make them shoot quicker or slower or whatever. And then, so for example, making a guy an enemy would take between 1 or 2 weeks to make him, and then another, maybe the next month you will touch it up and fix it. And usually 1 month is, the enemy should be ready. But after that, of course, you put it in the actual stage, and then you can see if it actually works there or not. Changing, adjusting still a bit more things.
So even making like the small fry type of guys takes quite a bit of time.
Oh yeah. Anything because of that. And of course, when I implement animations, I have to call the animator, say, is this okay? And then he says, no, okay, I'll make this one faster or slower or whatever. And yeah, so that's it for the character design.
Yeah, so as you can see, a lot of times from, like you said, it can take upwards of maybe 6 to 8 weeks just to make a tiny little guy that you just, blast through in 0.5 seconds. So, there's a lot that can change from, the start of the design process for even the smallest of enemies to the finish. And, sometimes it doesn't. So I want Aizu-san to kind of talk a little bit about maybe how that process works, kind of from the beginning stages of development to the end. So, Aizu-san.
はい、ですね、ゲームの制作は最初は、チームのコアメンバーがブレインストーミングをしていろいろアイデアを出します。アイデアを出し終わった後はディレクターがコンセプトを守って作るので、その後は、初期と製品版で大きな違いはないです。
Yeah, so when they really get started, they hold big brainstorming sessions with all of the people, all of the main heads involved, and once that kind of gets, turned into a main idea, those super core concepts tend not to actually change too much from the start to the finish.
先ほどですね、エンリケ君が話しましたけども、レベルデザインはすごく重要で、最初から最後までですね、大体レベルデザインを行っていくんですけれども、特にですね、全てのコンテンツが入った一番最後のレベルデザイン、これがゲームの面白さを左右する一番重要なところになります。
Yeah, so as Enrique said, the level design process is probably one of the most important aspects of a game like Money Number 9. So a lot of care is implemented to make sure that is exactly the way we want it when it gets fully finished at the end of the day.
そんな形でですね、大体作ってるんですけども、ゲームはですね、ちょっとガンボルトの例で話をしましょう。
Okay, so we're going to have a look at some examples, how some of the things in Gunvolt. First of all, I want to take a look. How many of you guys have played Azure Striker Gunvolt? Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so those of you who play Gunvolt will recognize this character, and so we're going to take a look at one of the main characters from Gunvolt. Sort of went from that initial brainstorming concept stage to the final design you see in the game.
はい、ルーメンというキャラクターがいまして、このルーメンのキャラクターの最初はですね、こうしていろんな人からアイデアを出します。
Yeah, so Lumen, the main heroine from Azure Striker Gunvolt, when we were first playing the game, we sat down with all the main heads and came up with various ideas of what they thought, Lumen, the main heroine, should be like. So as you can see, even the designs on this very page differ greatly from one to another. And so we had a lot of ideas to work with at first hand.
その中から、いくつかの、一つのキャラクターを選んでいくつかのパターンを次書きます。
Yeah, so once we pull all those ideas together, then we have to decide on one major design we want to go with, and then we can kind of edit it from there. So once we chose this design for Lumen, or Morpho, as she's known in the Japanese version, it starting to resemble the character that you see in the final game, but there's still many differences.
で、ちょっと着物っぽくですね、日本のゲームですから着物っぽくしましょうということで、着物を着せてみました。
Yeah, so it's a Japanese game, Japanese creator, so they thought, why not give her a kimono? That would look pretty legit, right? So that part was added, further along the design process, and now she's even getting closer to the final design of Lumen in the game.
はい、日本っぽすぎたので、ちょこっとまた修正して、こんな形に蝶々のですね、羽のようにしてみました。
Yeah, so now she's kind of has a more like flowery appearance, and we've got the butterfly theming on her, and those changes get added as the time goes on down the line.
で、次がこれがファイナル。
And then that's the final. So even from like the second slide you saw where she started to get the blue wing type of deal, I mean that's a pretty far cry from that initial stage to the final. So the designs can indeed, once you zero in on stuff, you can still, those small details will still change quite a bit.
アジュストライトかガンボルトはだいたい40人ぐらいですね、で作っています。
Yeah, so we have the Gunvolt team consists of about 40 people, give or take.
最初の方